What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? John G. Olson here. Honored, grateful, thankful that you've decided to spend a few minutes with me today as we dive deep into another book. That's right, it's the Click Track Profit book review here on Steam and, of course, on DTube as well as YouTube, your tube, my tube, everybody's tube. So let me dive into it. I actually did a video earlier this week, and I talked about a book that I'm going to be diving into over the next couple of months because it's a biggie. Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene. Robert Greene's the author of 48 Laws of Power, arguably my favorite book of all time, and I'm going to start reading this tonight and then going forward, but I don't exactly know how I'm going to do this. If I might do another book review in a couple of weeks, or I might do a chapter review, because this is going to take me a while. There's 600 pages, and as you can see, the print is not very big. So I'm diving into this tonight, looking forward to this, but I'm not totally sure how I'm going to do it. I want to do a book review on it, but it's such a massive book, it may take me a while to read. So we'll see how that progresses. I can read multiple books at the same time. I'm multitasking abilities. Anywho, we'll see how that goes. But let's dive into the book that I just read the past 2 weeks. So I picked this up. It's called The Iconic Advantage by Soon Yu with David Burrs. Really cool cover. I saw this book and it says, "Don't chase the new, innovate the old." So let me tell you, I went into this book thinking it was going to be a business book or a branding book, very similar to one of the better books I've read over the past couple of years, and that was The Revenge of Analog by David Sax. And what an amazing book that was. That kind of framed everything, how the rebirth of Polaroid, how board games, how vinyl, all of these things, the analog, the prime of analog was coming back in. And just take a look around. I mean, vinyl sales are the most they've been in years. Print books still sell really well. So that was a really enjoyable book. So I saw this Iconic Advantage, and I see these sunglasses, but then I see like the Air Max, like the Nike Air Max, and don't chase the new, innovate the old. So when I bought this book, I thought, and it's kind of my own prejudging, I guess, of the book, I thought it was going to be on that kind of topic. So branding for businesses, but using that kind of revenge of analog mindset or frame set or something like that. But it wasn't the kind of book I thought it was going to be. Now, that being said, this was a really enjoyable read. It was really quick to read. It was only about 180 pages, 170 pages long. Really easy to read. Really good, good points about branding. But it didn't. I think because I went into it thinking it was going to be the revenge of analog for branding, I think that's why I was kind of like, I read it and I was like, ugh, something's missing. But it wasn't because of the book. It was kind of because I was thinking it was something it's not. Anyways, this book talked a lot about branding and why it's important to not necessarily reinvent the wheel. Focus on really remarkable products that you offer, as well as iconic products like the book Iconic Advantage, talking about how it's important to focus on these, the customer experience, the way that people interact and relate to the brands. That's what it was, a branding book. It was a really, really good branding book. Not on the levels of 22 Immutable Laws of Branding, and not even the laws of Storytell branding that we did a couple weeks ago, but it was a very solid branding book that could really help you guys. Again, the big point to me from the big takeaway from this was that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to worry about the latest greatest fad. What you should do is concentrate what you've got and see why your customers really love what you are offering. Cater to them. Again, it was an easy book to read because it was very short, but just packed with really cool stories about companies, real world examples as well, which I really appreciate. When it comes to books, I love use case. I love stories about how a company did something, or examples of how an entrepreneur did this or did that. Not just theory. Let's see it in action. And there's a whole bunch of examples on different companies, different products within this book that really helps you kind of kind of see what Sun Yu is talking about when he says the iconic advantage, and it is an advantage. Far too many times, I think companies and businesses we try to be on the cutting edge, right? We always want to have the next greatest widget. But that's not needed. And this book kind of talks about that, how it's really important to focus on what really makes you stick out from the crowd. Focus on that. What do people talk about? What is the thing that's shared the most? Concentrate on that. Everything else will come into play. So, decent book. Again, my bad for kind of like buying it and reading kind of like the inside cover and then, like don't chase the new, innovate the old. I really thought it was going to be Revenge of Analog by David Sax, but for branding. But it wasn't that, but it was still a really good read, a great branding book, and something you guys can definitely read within a day or two and get some really juicy information and tips and tricks. So hope you guys enjoy it. Iconic Advantage by Sun Yu. That's the book right there. And I love the Air Max, man. I mean, I think that's what drew me to the book. Like, let's be honest, right? It's one of the greatest shoes ever created, right? So, anywho, for all you sneakerheads out there, hope you guys enjoyed it. Or have you been reading anything, or have you been looking forward to me pounding through this mammoth, gigantic book? This is just, I haven't even started yet, and oh man, it's going to be crazy. Anyways, I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I will see you on Sunday night if you're at the Sports Nerds, or Monday night on Crypto Monday. So, have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to reading your comments. Toodles.